Hey everyone, it's Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray, and Tim is selling the Crusher, the F250. I mean, he is selling everything. Next thing we know, the Flagstaff will be for sale. But anyway, let's just get into his video. Let's make this react real quick. He's in the dark. I guess he just can't wait to share the news. I know he's going to court in 9 days. I'm wondering if that is what is accelerating his need to sell everything. Is he planning to like flee the country before we go to court? I mean, it's a 30K judgment, Tim. All right, guys, let's put Tim at 1.5. Oh my goodness. And let's see him and the dog. Oh,
Tim, I'm just gonna have to turn the phone around because you're not gonna be able to see me, but on the way home and hear my voice. But I wanted to start it out this way to say, welcome to evening chat. Yeah, I'm not even gonna put it on dual capture. I'm pulling out of BJ's wholesale gas station where I just spent, let me back up and verify.
Wow, this has the appearance of like a film where you're going to see somebody have something like nefarious happen to them. This Tim is just on a manic high, guys.
For you. I just spent $91.12 on 26.42 gallons of fuel. That's $3. Well, it says $359.9 now, but I think I paid $344.9. $344? That was good. Is that right? Because I didn't get a receipt. I want to make sure I bought it for $344 with my MasterCard.
Okay, why is this your content? We literally are a minute in. We've seen you in the dog, and now we're seeing what looks like the side of a BJ's or a Costco.
Here I am saying 344 is good. Well, I'll tell you what, gas is not going to be too much of a problem for me much longer. I have come up with an idea. Fred and I went over it, and some of you actually helped me with the planting the seed in my mind. And that is coming to the resolve that the Flagstaff camper that I reside in is no longer a camper, but a home. And I don't
We all realized that about 2 years ago, but keep going, Tim.
want to put anywhere on the tires. I don't want a wheel bearing to go out. I don't want somebody to pull out in front of me and I can't stop in time. I don't want bad weather. I don't want swerving. I don't want bouncy roads to cause a propane leak or a water line leak or a cabinet fall down or anything to that camper by towing it on public highways. The Flagstaff, as far as I'm concerned, will only be moved for 2 reasons ever again. One is to move to another RV park or to someone else's ownership, or to get out of harm's way of another hurricane. A thunderstorm, I won't be able to know. It comes up too quick. But a hurricane that they can predict a week out, I have time to do what I got to do to leave. Now, if I don't tow.
Oh my goodness. Now we're going to hear the entire conversation that he and Fred had. But I don't know if he's trying to free up cash. Supposedly his YouTube channel is just booming at the moment. At least he talked to a person and not AI.
The camper, I don't need a tow vehicle. But hold up, we already said that. In case there's a hurricane, I do. To move it, yeah, I can just have somebody come out or borrow a neighbor's truck or pay them or whatever to move me to another RV park, even in another county or something.
You mean you're not going to try to go to a Love's truck stop or something? I can't believe you sat and complained about this truck for this long. And is this so that you can show that you could not travel to Virginia Beach because you don't have a truck? That's not going to stop you looking like you could take a flight or rent a car.
Another state, I can have it transported. But to save it from being destroyed, even though I got insurance from a hurricane, I need something that I can, hook up. So, started thinking, and you started thinking, and Fred was thinking.
So you bought this truck and lost however much on depreciation after you lost on another brand new truck, and you traded that one in. I'm sure you're going to dress this turd up as to some type of way you made money. And now you're going to sell this truck that you took, I think, on 1 or 2 trips out of town. And now you said you're going to go see your daughter shortly in Georgia for the fall. And yet now you want to sell the truck just before you're supposedly taking a trip? Okay. I mean, any of Tim's logic? I don't get it. At this point, I think it's just this. Tim flushed money away. All right, Tim.
And we come up with this idea. A half-ton truck. Some of you have already recommended that I get a, I don't know, some smaller truck and buy a teardrop and all of that. But a half-ton truck.
You had a smaller truck. You had an F-150. And for whatever reason, when you came back from that trip, you decided that was not enough of a truck to pull your camper, and you were going to do all this traveling. So not only did you buy an upgrade to a F250 and trade in the F150, you bought a Honda brand new, I guess, to supposedly woo Miss Tammy. And that didn't work.
As I had before with my Tundra, will pull my camper. It will certainly pull it out of harm's way to safety somewhere. So I have to have a truck. So why not get rid of the cement truck and get a different truck, a less expensive truck, a truck that doesn't drive like a buckboard? And what would that be? Do you guys know that the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling vehicle in the entire United States? That's right. And which particular F-150 is the one to have? I got that for you too. And that's not a 2026 or a 2024 or even a 2020. It is a 2015, 16, and 17, with 17 being the preferable, 16 being second place.
I cannot. Are you serious? Wasn't it an F-150 he had before? Are you serious? I mean, what?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah.
And 15 being last choice. All very reliable. It's just got to do with the infotainment center and the lagging. I don't even think I would consider a 15. But a 16 or a 17 is definitely in the program. A 17 ideally is what I would love. And ideally, you know, you're looking at 100,000 miles because that's a 10-year-old almost vehicle, basically 10 years old. But if you get an F-150 and a Lariat or some luxury package with the leather and all that, with the 6-speed transmission and the 5.0 Coyote motor, baby, no 2.7 EcoBoost. No.
Is there something wrong with this person? Seriously. I mean, just the waste of the money. It's insane in my mind. And that's a word I don't usually try to use.
Not even going to consider it. I'll drive this. The only truck and vehicle for me is a 2017 F-150 5.0 Coyote motor, 6-speed transmission with less than 105,000 miles on it. 130 or 140 miles is going to be probably very common, even more. But I would have to see a lot of maintenance records and things like that. There's very few problems like an oil pan that was plastic that you can fix easily. The water pump should be replaced at 100,000. Transmission fluid should have been changed at 100,000. And basically, other than oil changes and tire rotations, that's, according to AI and internet, that is basically a bulletproof, tried and true motor. All the Ford mechanics, if they had their choices, fuel economy, amazing.
Tim, you hate anything used.
Double what this truck gets. The EcoBoost gets a little better, 3 or 4 more miles per gallon than the Coyote motor. But this one, the Coyote, I think it does 17, 19, something like that around town, 20, and 21, 22 or something like that on the highway, 23, I don't know. Double what this thing gets. This thing gets 8 towing and 10 anytime else. Period, the end. What's the advantage? One, I'd be able to drive and not chip my teeth. I'd be able to drive twice as far before paying another $3.50, $4 a gallon for fuel. And I can put money in my pocket, as of course this truck is worth more than a 2017 F-150 with a Coyote motor. There is no shortage of them. They actually made several 100,000.
Oh my God.
of them each year in those years. But the EcoBoost,
I'm sorry, I just have nothing to say after watching Tim just spend and go through vehicles. It's just fascinating. Especially since he really doesn't have any true assets. So he's not somebody with a wealth base that allows him just to be absolutely frivolous. But this is just the worst money management I think I've ever seen. Next to my college graduate studies.
is the one they're going to find more prevalent because people don't get rid of the coyotes. They just keep.
And at least I have a profession. At least it's not basket weaving. At least it's in nursing.
And so until I find a 16 or a 17 coyote with low mileage, a good color, and maybe like a lariat with the luxury interior, I'll just keep this. So if the day ever comes, that's what I'm going to do. I'll call up.
Oh God, this is the latest obsession now for his content. And he's back to the carnivore and the caffeine as always, and any type of anything he can think of that's going to take out his cardiac and his kidneys.
Texas Auto Value, who I sold my Honda Accord to. I'll get a buy figure for this. Someone will come to my bank right here in town and write me a check. And I'll give them the title and they can take this truck. And I will go and buy the 2017 F-150 Coyote. And I will be still having a truck. I will still only want the 4-door version. I will have a truck body, a smooth car ride, twice the gas mileage, and a vehicle that'll run 250,000 or more miles with normal oil changes and tire rotations. That's what I'm talking about. And at 68 years old on my next birthday, I'd like to be able to pass it down. Maybe I'm the second or maybe the third owner only of this particular truck I might find. And
are we really talking legacy truck here to your grandkids that you never see? Or is it to your son? Tim, come on.
And it'll be like on that Clint Eastwood movie. What was that movie where he had?
I have to say, and this is an aside, when I worked in hospice nursing and I worked at an inpatient facility that specialized specifically in end-of-life cases, a lot of people don't realize that certain illnesses can lead people to have all sorts of end-of-life agitation, and they can get really actually quite violent and aggressive. Certain dementias and certain other diseases can lead patients to be very aggressive, angry. They can be having the police called out because suddenly this spouse is, lashing out at the other spouse or family members. And it's really because of what's happening as part of the process of starting to pass away. And so I found that one of the things that was always requested was the keys to the truck. There was always these gentlemen who always wanted their keys, and specifically for their trucks, there was a great attachment to the truck, and especially trying to get out of the inpatient hospice facilities. And most of the time, they often had catheters and things, and we're definitely not driving at this point. But yeah, it was interesting. Definitely one of the things most requested I ever heard.
A car, or your granddad had his old Ford truck, something like that, where I could just keep it forever. I don't
heard it from more than one patient, definitely more than 10. It was astounding how many times I heard a request for the truck and the keys to the truck and so many things around the truck. Never a car, the truck.
Need to get 30 miles per gallon in the city and drive a little economy box. I don't need to drive a Corolla. I like a room in the truck and to be able to tow the camper.
God, next week he'll be fantasizing about having the Honda back. What did he call that one? Oh, I can't even remember now. There's so many names for the vehicles. But the Honda was a sedan style car, Tim.
A hurricane comes, and I could pull a small camper if I wanted to buy one, or I could load it up with the e-bike and camping equipment and an air mattress and go set up at a campground with a big, beautiful tent, an air mattress, and all the stuff that I used to do camping anyway. I'm not going to be on the road forever with it, and you can do anything. And with the money I'm saving, if the weather was bad and I couldn't throw up a tent and I was out traveling, I get a room. And I'm always unhooked. I'm ready to go. No weight distribution hitches, no dragons.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think you should have a safety check on that RV, especially since, and I don't think you've covered the tires or had a lot of movement to ensure that they're not just wearing out in one spot. I think Tim's going to find that the tires are probably starting to be worn.
Something, nothing. And so I think that this idea, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you can do a search, any of you out there, I mean, I don't care where it is in the United States, except.
Oh, seriously? Come on, Tim.
Too far. I mean, I got to go to California or Oregon or, you know, hell, Texas would be far. But I'm open to hearing from anybody that knows where a 2017 F-150 with the 5.0 Coyote motor V8 that'll have a 6-speed transmission.
Oh gosh, you're gonna have every AI hater bot coming and telling you where this is, Tim. Talk about trying to get engagement. I don't know if this was a wise choice of engagement for your comment section, Tim.
2018, they made the 5.0. They went to a 10-speed transmission. It had oil consumption, and that was the downfall of where the issues started. But 15, 16, and 17 are some truck, and I want one. Crush it.
Oh my goodness, Tim. All right, I'm going to end you there. You know, there's only, you know, again, there's only really one thing that we can say.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, he really stinks. He does. You know, he just, as far as his money management, I mean, this is his money. I know, I did these things a couple of times. But Tim is happy to flush his money down the toilet, guys. All right. And if you did get this far and not shocked nor surprised that Tim is flippy floppy on what to do with his truck, leave the, is there a toilet emoji? I guess I'm going to probably end up with the poop emoji. I think that Tim is just definitely pooping all over his finances, and I don't care. How to Waste Your Money by Sarasota Tim. How Sarasota Tim wastes more money on vehicles again. All right, guys. I certainly do appreciate. We're 9 days away from actually making it to court. And if you do happen to like this type of content, hit the like, subscribe, hype me up in the algorithm. We cannot believe this is Tim is on a, you know, I mean, it's Tim. What can we say? All right, guys. Look, I need to make sure that we catch up soon, and I'm going to make sure we leave out with this guy. All right, guys. Oh, actually, no. I need this one. I need to come out with this actual this is the one I need. All right, this is my outro, guys. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.